It's been a while. Uh, Today's dilemma, second video, second filming attempt. It's been a long while. I wanted to do these video diaries a lot. Now that I've sat down to film, I feel the words coming out, and there's a lot. It feels weird seeing myself. I'm getting more used to hearing the sound of my own voice. I've realized it's something that is kind of scary, you know, and that's for me. The reasoning is, well, there's lots of reasons, you know. I like my voice, but when you like something, you believe the best about it, you know. But when that thing is something that you're producing, I guess it's like standards, right? Like, oh, this thing is so good. And if it's not that good, it's like, oh, wait, what the hell? But things are fluid and everything changes all the time. So there's no way for that thing to be that good every time, because then it wouldn't be that good, you know. Things are good sometimes when you experience them, and if you're lucky enough to experience that thing being that good the second time, then, you know, praise be to the Most High for all my religious people, all my religious persons and peoples like myself. You feel me? But the context of today for me is autism, ADHD, and CPTSD. I never wanted to be someone who just talks about mental health or like mental health diagnoses. But as I find myself stuck in the midst of it, it's like I wanted to be someone who comes online and connects with people, because I feel like that's what being online is these days. Like, dopamine has been so hijacked by like scientifically, like there's all these companies are, what's the word, attention retention, I'd like to say, especially in the context of like social media companies. They are literally engineering the apps to keep you engaged with the app for as long as fucking possible. You know, so everybody ends up fucking online whether or not they like it, because once you open these apps, it's like, yeah, it's like what they say. Once you take a hit of fentanyl, or like heroin, like you're an addict forever. Like, bro, once you open this app, bro, like, it's really crazy to me that there's no like alternatives for these things. Like, Instagram is Instagram, Facebook's Facebook, TikTok's like YouTube's YouTube. You know, unless an app goes down and dies, like musically or Vine. You know, now these things are really just part of life and the world. Like the same way like the sun goes up and down every day. Like, this Instagram's gonna be there and it's gonna go down, and then niggas are gonna go on Twitter to check. Like, it's shit like that. Like, Reddit's always gonna be Reddit, and like that's really shit that is just part of our world now, that has become part of our world because we've made it so. So with the internet becoming more prevalent, information is so prevalent. There's never been as much stuff to know as possible as there is right now in today's world. And I feel like, for example, I remember when Trump and Harris were running, and I'm looking at like educated versus uneducated, whatever the stat may have been. It was like red versus blue states, and it's like the people voting red, like voting Trump, or like you look at the education metrics, blue states are like higher educated versus red states, and it's like that's on purpose. It's intentional. It's intentional. It's intentional. Like, people start talking now about, again, like how they used to be the same party and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, yeah, bro. It's all. I don't want to say, I'm not one of those like conspiracy nuts. Like I said before, like I do geography. Like, we look up how countries put these kinds of, I want to say, systems into play. It's intentional. It's all very, very intentional. There are ways to control the populace. Kingdoms, countries, nations, states have all existed for as long as, well, humanity have had fire. You know, this is my house, that's your house. Who lives in my house? This is my people. That's your people. You know, how do you keep everyone in your house running? Like, you know, takes a village to raise a child, but You know, what are the stories in the village? Like, what lessons is he being taught? Like, it's just all this kind of stuff that we think is so human and natural and intrinsic, but it's all like, it is, but we're way past natural. You know, like, think about Doy the sheep. Niggas have been trying to clone people, bro, and that's years ago. People took weather machines, and the idea is so, that's ridiculous, bro. Niggas go to the moon, bro. You can leave this planet, and that was what, 20 years ago. I don't know when the moon landings were. Fuck, I don't care, bro. That shit happened. That shit happened time ago. You know, and people don't even talk. People were talking about deep fakes years ago. People were like, we all saw those deep fakes back in the day when you were a kid. Like, whoever the celebrity was, whoever female celebrity, and that was a problem back then. Now it's AI. People don't even call them deep fakes. I'm just like, AI viz. Like, going online and like looking at something and like people talk about, you don't know if it's real, and no one cares. It's like this idea, like, and I feel like once you don't know, that uncertainty removes the ability to make a decision, because you can't make a decision on facts or information that you don't have. So people are just stuck in this endless loop of doing what they know because it's what they know. They don't know anything else. And people are so socialized to not want to learn more, I feel like, at this point. You know? Like, people see Kai Cenat reading, performative, he's reading. What? Like, bro, he's not just reading, he's Kai Cenat and he's reading. That's the whole point. You feel me? Like, look at Rakai, that's the other end of the spectrum. You know? Rakai's one end of the spectrum. Look at this fucking idiot. You know? Like literally, and then you've got fucking Kai Cenat on the other end, who is like, niggas remember all the Kai Cenat shit back in the day, bro. Niggas remember the rat in the gaff, bro. You feel me? And now it's like he's trying to better himself and like be an actual, like, bro, trying to move on to bigger and better things, bro. Like, Mr. Beast did this shit, KSI did this shit. Obviously, like, okay, fuck KSI, like, niggas. Bro, you know, I don't fuck with KSI, bro. Fuck that nigga. Kilo dick. Shut up. Fuck. Backhand you, bro. Nigga sells back hundreds of thousands of years with that shit, bro. Fucking hate KSI, bro. But, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, the anti-electoralism going on the internet and a lot. Like, hella buzzwords, bro. Hella buzzwords. But my shit is, I used to read books, bro. Feel me? Now I'm deep in. Like, niggas say don't get off Twitter. Like, the problem with Twitter is that it's people's opinions. And they're presented as facts. You know? And niggas, ain't nobody fact checking everything, you know? And now with the internet, shit ain't even worth the fact check because the shit is probably so, like, obnoxiously fake that there'll be guys in the comments saying, bro, this shit was on the news in my country last week, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Because guys are just pumping out content for headlines. Like, the thing with the internet is that it used to be, like, I'll talk about this in my last video, like, the idea that everything made on the internet comes from someone and is made by someone. No. I feel like the internet has been so bastardized as, like, a thing, as an entity that's been allowed to become and allowed to be believed to be its own space separate from the real world. It's really fucking not, you know? It's not. It's really not, because, like, bro, you're not opening your third eye and diving in like SAO. Like, you're not putting on some fucking nerve gear to enter the internet, bro. You just open your laptop, you close your phone. Open your laptop, open your phone, you know, feel me? Pick that shit up, open it. Like, it's to the point where I've been trying to quit Instagram and I'm realizing that my body's, I've had Instagram since how long? And I started posting, like, actually, like, caring about posting. Because I, like, see, and I feel so anxious, so, because I model, right? I got skeleton model, like, a few years ago, right? I started posting on Instagram because they were like, what's your social media? I'm not that social, bro. Feel me? I'm figuring out right, because I'm like, I'm not an introvert. I'm an extrovert. I just have fucking ADHD and autism. So it's like, I struggle with socializing genetically. You know, like, systematically in my body, socializing is difficult. And I'm still an extrovert, you feel me? It just takes me longer, you know? And that's, like, something that, if you believe all the misinformation about stuff online, like, you won't even, like, how do I put this? I'm all over the place today because I haven't done this sort of talking or journaling, like, anything in a while. You know, it's been a long while. You know, there's a lot of truths and harsh truths that I've had to accept. For example, like, I don't get stuff. I don't understand things, bro. I've been told, like, I always thought I was smart, but allowed to believe I was smart. Actually, I've been made to believe I was smart for the youngest time. I was always the gifted kid. You feel me? Like, why aren't you doing so well? You should be doing better. Like, just pay attention. He would be if he just like paid attention to detail, paid attention to detail, pay attention to detail. You know, like the. And I always felt so slighted talking about it. And I realized I hate, because I feel shame. I feel a lot of shame because there's a lot of expectation, you know. But and it's like when you do well, it's like, oh my son, I love my son. He does so well at school and stuff. And when you don't do well, it's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Lock in, like the fuck in, bro. So it's like you're only really doing well to maintain the idea that you do well. The actual progress and how well you're doing isn't really what matters. You feel me? It's just kind of crazy to think about. Damn. Type shift. You know, I was like, I was thinking about this idea like earlier today. I'm thinking like, my life is gonna be hard, regardless of like, like the circumstances of my life. Like people with ADHD and autism are predisposed and more likely to have ideas, like not ideas, but to have like mental health problems, right? Cool. I've got my shit diagnosed. Like I'm dealing with my shit, right? And then there's like actual shit that's happened in my life as well. Like it's even separate from that, bro. So it's like, oh, you feel me? And then there's the world, and there's how the world is, and then me coming to understand how I exist in the world and like not caring. But for example, talking to people, I talked to one of my friends today. Made my life harder. Talked to one of my friends today, made my life easier, bro. Feel me? But you can't really tell people that they're not helping you, like when you're like, because the whole thing with like depression, like I've moved past my depression. Like I don't feel like killing myself anymore. I really don't. I really like love that I exist because I'm cold as fuck, bro. Like I feel like everyone's really like a result of everything that's happened to them in their life and the genetic tools that they've been put on the earth with. And I feel like basically genetically, like my background, who I'm from, who my parents are, like all that shit, like where I'm from, who I am, what kind of body type I have, like that shit's cold, bro. You know, I have really bad knee pain, but you can fix knee pain. You know, so I'm not worried about. I always say I want new knees if I could have anything new, but I could fix my knees. I have great knees. They're not great right now, but I do have good knees. I used to do high jump. You know, just because you're injured doesn't mean you have a bad body. You just need a little bit of love. Yeah, and it's hard to give love sometimes. It is hard. It's hard to understand what love means because it means something different for everyone. And I feel like, for example, leaning back into the idea of a controlled populace, movies. I've started watching movies a lot recently. With autism and ADHD, I've been made to understand that apparently I lean more into cartoons because I don't understand people's facial expressions, and cartoons are very expressive, right? And they also use big words, and big words have very specific meanings, you know. Movie like Mamma Mia, for example. I've always wondered why the UK was so like free and like liberal in terms of like ideas like sexual freedom and like. I watched Mamma Mia. That's a movie that people have been watching. Like I watched Mamma Mia as a kid. Like the songs ring true. Like I was born in London. I don't remember Mamma Mia, but I remember watching it as a child. I don't remember a thing of it. I watched it back for the second, or probably the second time. For me, it was the first time. I don't remember watching it the first time. Watched it back with my housemates. Very positive film. I didn't like it. I wouldn't watch it again, but the feel that the film creates is immense and it's impressive. But this film would not fly in Nigeria, bro. Like, what was that one line? That one black kid, I hated his portrayal. Obviously, the one like token black kid. He's not dancing with that lady. Oh, does your mom know you're here? You know. And I'm understanding how these ideas of like sneaking out and being like young and doing whatever in the West, that shit's calm. In Nigeria, sneak out where? Sneak out to where? Sneak out to go where? Bro, because you sleep outside, you know. And it's just, it's interesting. It's interesting how ideas are really created, carried on, and normalized. You know? Intentionally. Very intentionally. Everything's intentional. Nothing happens by accident. It's too late. It's too late for that. There's too much money. There's too much money involved for shit to be happening coincidentally. There's too much money involved for shit to be happening coincidentally at this point, you know. So, I'm not saying to be critical or be untrusting of everything you see in the world, but something I'm learning to do. If you feel something, trust your feeling, because you're probably right. Because there's a person that has made that happen. You know what they say, the butterfly effect. There's probably someone or something and that shit has probably happened before. You know? You're not that special. People aren't that special. You know, I feel like realizing that I'm not that special is helping with my anxiety a lot. Because bro, we're just not the pebble on the path and the grain of sand on the beach. For me, shit that's happened to you's probably happened before, bro. Deja vu, shit happens. Shit happens, bro. And it will continue to happen. You know, just be there, be along for the ride. You know? And trust yourself. No one knows more than you. I'm saying this like this shit. I'm trying to sound. I'm trying to sound mad like inspirational and stuff. I made these videos because I need to for my mental health, bro. But I've always wanted to help people. I wanted to be a doctor when I was a kid because I wanted to help people, and I thought I'm smart. Smart people are doctors. I'm scared of blood, bro. I'm fucking squeamish. No one ever asked me if I was scared. My parents asked me, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to be a doctor. I can't stand blood at all. Pain? Nah, it's just not me. Now I want to make art, I want to make music, I want to take photos. Because the smile you see on when I take people's photos, they smile. When I sing to people, they smile. And that was all I ever wanted. I wanted to make people smile. I want to be great, and I feel like greatness in this world is so tied to money, but I don't want to make money, I just want to be great. I don't want to make money, I want to be great. And I wish I didn't have to want to make money to be great. They say money comes with it, you know, and that's really what I'm holding on to. I'm broke as shit, I've never been just broke in my motherfucking life. Feel me? It is what it is.